What is up guys, my name is Fran and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at a pretty interesting piece of technology. This is the Qubii Pro, an automated backup device for your iOS smartphone or tablet. But before we begin, as I just mentioned a moment ago, my name is Fran and here in the channel I make videos all about technology. I do reviews, I do opinion pieces, and sometimes we even have a little bit of fun. So if you like what you see, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Alright, so if you're an owner of any modern Apple devices, then you're probably familiar with Apple's iCloud services. It's pretty much required to operate any modern Apple devices you'll find on the market. Now along with that comes Apple's iCloud Auto Backup service, and it's pretty simple and easy to set up. You pretty much can set it and forget it, and anytime you take any photos or pictures, it's automatically uploaded directly up to the cloud. Now while Apple's iCloud automated backup solution is super convenient and really easy to use, it does come at a cost, especially for users like myself who have iOS devices that have a 256GB capacity or higher. And that's because once you surpass the lower tiered storage options in Apple's iCloud services, which is $1 for 50GB and $3 for 200GB, there's nothing in between. You automatically have to jump up to the 2TB plan, which costs a whopping $10 per month. And at that monthly cost, it's about the same as Apple Music or even YouTube Premium. And when you start looking at that price tag over the course of 1 to 2 years, it can really add up. And this is where a device like the Qubii Pro can really shine. For a one-time fee of $54.99, not including the microSD card, which will run you in the neighborhood of around $50 to $100 depending on the capacity you choose, you've now got yourself an automated backup that doesn't come with the monthly cost. Let me show you guys how it works. Alright, so in order to set up and use your Qubii, you're gonna need a handful of things. Number one, you're gonna need a power brick with a USB-A female port. So in particular, I'm gonna be using the Apple default one here. I believe it's 10 to 15 watts. The actual wattage shouldn't matter too much as long as it has enough juice to power the Qubii as well as your device at the exact same time. Next, you're gonna need a USB-A male cable to whatever you're gonna have on the other end, either USB-C or Lightning. In particular, I'm using a USB-C cable just because the example I'm using is gonna be on my iPad, as opposed to probably the more commonplace iOS smartphone device. But either way, you're just gonna need a cable that's gonna connect to USB-A male to your actual device. Next, you're gonna actually use the Qubii itself, but you can't forget about the microSD card. So in my unit in particular, I have a 128GB SanDisk Extreme card, which is gonna make sure you do have a micro SD card inside of your Qubii, and then you can kind of put everything together as if it's Megatron. So we're gonna go ahead and take our power brick and just kind of plug this into here, and then on the other end, we're gonna plug our cable, and then as you can only imagine, this side of it actually goes inside of the wall, a power adapter, or plugs inside of your wall, and the other end does plug to your actual device, and you are pretty much off to the races. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my Qubii into my iPad, and normally you get a pop-up letting you know you need to download the Qubii application, and you can go into the actual app store very simply and do a search for Qubii, and you'll find the application. There's one for the Qubii and then one for the Qubii Pro. This is the one I actually have downloaded here and opened. Once you actually have the application, you can go ahead and pop through the setup prompts, just letting you know that you need to give it permissions to access your photos as well as some of your other items. I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK to these request for permissions because these are the items I want to be backed up. It's a privacy statement, as most companies need to have now. Allow progress notifications, and then social media. I'm not into that, so I'm not going to have that. So now it's prompting me to go ahead and it lets me know that my Qubii Pro is connected, and lets me know, do I want to go ahead and start a full backup? So I'm going to go ahead and hit start now. And just like that, it's gonna go ahead and grab all of my items here, and it's just gonna back it up. And generally, this is the process for every time you use the Qubii. Anytime you plug it in to charge, that's kind of the idea. You have it sitting there, and it'll go ahead and back up your items while it's actually charging. So we're gonna go ahead and let this finish doing the backup, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more about how the application and the hardware actually work. So now that we have everything backed up, I wanna show you guys around the Qubii application, and it's pretty simplistic by design. So you're going to just notice a handful of options here. At the top, it is going to show you the capacity of the micro SD card you have inside of the device. And as you guys can see here, I'm only using 299 megabytes of 128 gigabytes. And then right below that, you're going to see browse photos, full backup, and restore. Really quickly, what these options are going to do is if you simply just want to look at the photos and videos that you have backed up on your micro SD card, you can simply use this to go ahead and go through and browse all of those images and videos. If you want to go ahead, also you will find here your contacts backup as well. I don't have any contacts on my iPad, so if I go in here, it's only going to show one, but if I did have contacts, they would show up here in the actual application. The other option you're going to have here is going to be a full backup. This is just a way to force the Qubii to do a full backup. So if I tap on it, as you guys can see, it automatically pushes a backup, and that's what it does. And then finally, you have the option to restore the device or restore your images or your images in your contacts to a new device if you have one. So if I also go here, it's going to show me my options, and then lets me know, do I want to restore these items to the new device? I don't have one, so I'm not going to do that right now, but that is where you go to the options. And then really simply, there's only two other options here. One is going to be to actually talk with support. So it's going to ask you for your email to speak with support. And then right over here is a handful of other options just for some of the preferences within the application. So you can, it does have application lock, so if you want to lock up your images or anything like that, you can actually go ahead and enable that. Then you have your save your browsing settings, so if you want to save those and back those up as well. It also lets you know what type of items you want to back up. So as you guys can see here, there are a number of options such as backing up your camera roll, backing up contacts, backing up iTunes media. You can back up a number of other things. As you can see here, Facebook content, Instagram, I would never back that stuff up, it's all in the cloud, but you do have the option to do that as well as downloading things only over Wi-Fi. So that's one of the other options. And then you're also going to have the ability to postpone a backup for whatever reason. If you ever didn't want to back up, which, you know, I always like to back myself up, but you do have the ability to not back up, or, you know, set an interval, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours. And then you also have a couple of other options down here. And then, you know, gives you backup details. It also gives you the option to modify your notifications. And then, of course, it gives you the option to back up your iCloud content. Again, if you do have that kind of stuff up there, maybe you want to cancel your iCloud account, you have the ability to back that content up, have it here in the Qubii application, and then you can go ahead and cancel your subscription, but you still get to keep all your stuff. And then you also have the ability to clear your application cache in case some of the options or any notification settings you set up aren't what you want. You can do that. And then at the very bottom, you have the ability to format your micro SD card. If for any reason you're going to stop using it for this application, or you just want to start over with the fresh backup, you can do that from right here within the application as well. Well, that's about it. That's the Qubii Pro. Fairly simplistic by design, but what more could you really ask for out of an automated backup solution? It automatically backs up all your data when you presumably plug your device in for the evening to charge, and your data is there and available for restoration if there's an incident that calls for it. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that it does all of this over USB 3.0, which means you're going to back up your data much faster than you normally would via Wi-Fi over the air. It's also going to save you if you happen to be on one of those mobile data plans, which only gives you a certain allotment of data per month. And it does all of this without any additional cost per month. So at its one-time cost of $54.99, the Qubii Pro is an excellent device for anybody out there who's looking to save a couple of dollars on their iCloud bill. It's also pretty decent for anybody out there who might just want to be extra careful and have 2 backups of all their data, because you could never have too many backups. And if you're interested in learning more about the Qubii or possibly picking one up, I'll be sure to leave some links down in the video description below. But that is going to wrap this video up. As always, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Also, while you guys are down there, if you like this video, hit the like button. And if it's your first time to the channel, consider subscribing. Once again, guys, my name is Fran. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.